Welcome to the Bearcat Beat on LSPN, where each week we share conversations about everything that makes Sherman ISD athletics so great. I'm your host, Chris Daly. Sherman Bearcat Athletics represent the heart and soul of our community, where champions are made both on the field and in the classroom. Our student athletes embody the Bearcat spirit through dedication, perseverance, and excellence, creating memories and building character that will last a lifetime. Remember, it's better to be a Bearcat. This is just one of the many amazing things that the Booster Club accomplishes throughout the year for all sports. If you're interested in joining the Sherman Athletic Booster Club, or if you want to purchase some merchandise to show your Sherman Bearcat love, you can visit the website at shermanisd.net under the Athletics tab. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bearcat Beat. I'm Chris Daly. Joining me today is Sherman girls soccer coach Jimmy Dowell. How you doing, Coach?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. So first, let's talk about last year's team. How would you grade last year's team?
Probably C minus.
Okay.
New coach, new ideas, new system. Girls that are used to playing, a certain way for a while. And so, it can be tough for me at times to get my point across or my ideas across to them and for them to fully understand what I'm trying to get out of them. So, we had some good moments. We did some things and won some games that I think in the past we wouldn't have.
Right.
But ultimately, we finished out of playoff contention in district, and that's where we want to be. We want to be trying to fight for a playoff spot and get in. And so, I'm probably a hard grader. So
yeah, that's fine. Cool. And tell me what you have on this year's team that came back from last year.
I think we graduated, what was it, 7 seniors last year. We lost, several defensive players, a couple players that played a little bit of everywhere. So those things hurt, but we had a pretty good core coming back. My senior group is pretty large this year. So I had a lot of juniors on my varsity last year, and then kind of a big group of freshmen that are now sophomores. So they have, another year of experience. And so, it's a good group. And I've moved some girls positionally to try to help them make us better in certain places. So, for the most part, I think it's a good group that are working hard.
Nice. And if, when people think of Sherman Bearcat girls soccer, do they think of offense? Do they think of defense? What comes to mind for?
Well, I hope they think of what I want them to think of is hardworking. I want us to be a hardworking team. Whether we're the most talented team on the field or we're not, I want us to be able to outwork people. And that'll get you a long ways. I think probably in the past, I would guess. Again, this is only my second year. I would guess there probably would be considered more of a defensive team. And I'm a forward by trade. I played for 40 years and played forward for that position. So I'm used to attacking.
Yeah.
And in my teams, I want to be an attack-minded coach, but I'll be defensive when needed to be, but I want us to be hardworking. That's what I hope people that come and watch us. I hope that's what they see is we work hard, we work as a team, and we're giving all the effort that we have.
Nice. And when you look at teams that finish in district, maybe 4th through 6th or 7th, a lot of times the talent level is not a lot different. The big difference is belief.
Yeah,
the girls believing they can do it. What is the task there as far as convincing them? Look, we're easily a playoff team.
Well, I think that 4, 5, and 6 were pretty close. We didn't match up well with Anna. They ultimately finished fourth last year. And last year it wasn't a good matchup for us. I think we have the players this year, and we kind of have the mindset that'll be a much better matchup for us. And then last year with Melissa, I mean, we tied them and we lost a game that we were missing. I want to say 4 or 5 starters because of injury or illness. So, we were right there against Melissa. And so, we turn those 2 results against Melissa into wins, and we improve and turn the results against Anna to different results. And, we're right there in that mix. And so, the margins, like you said, are usually really fine. And they were really fine. And, Anna just last year put it together, I think, a little bit better than us and Melissa did. And ultimately they got the fourth place position. So, it's just getting my girls to see, hey, this is how close we are.
Yeah.
These are the things we need to improve on, but we can get there. It's up to you to apply those things and to put that effort and that work in. And so I think they're believing that. I'm hoping that they're believing that. And so, that they're saying the right things, and generally their work effort is showing me the right things. So hopefully that's a positive step. So
nice. And what has participation been since you've been there? Is it rising? Is it staying steady?
It stayed pretty steady. I want to say last year we had just over 70 try out or in the program at the beginning of the year. And then we were right there, basically the same number this year. There's going to always be a little bit of kind of up and down, ebb and flow, depending on your classes and stuff. And so, but it's been pretty consistent right in that 65 to 75 number range for the last couple of years. And so, that's good. It's good to have those girls coming out. We just, got to continue to grow those soccer players and get them coming out. So,
right. And talk to me about who do you expect, or who do you need to play important roles? Give me some names.
Savannah Bond is our goalkeeper. This is her 3rd year starting as a goalkeeper. She's a senior. She'll have to have a big year. She had a big year last year until injury kind of knocked her out there at the very end. But, she's one that will definitely need to play well. I think Nevaeh Langford will need to play well in our midfield. Adley Pacina will need to play well in our midfield. Molly Dollar, who was our leading scorer last year, will need to continue to score goals for us. We got a couple of freshmen. I think that Mia Basker and Lila Smith can contribute and do really well on our varsity and score some goals for us and be creative. And, and then I've moved a couple of girls around defensively, and Avery Booth, who played kind of utility last year for me and played a little bit everywhere, wherever I asked her to as a freshman. She's a sophomore and she's kind of leading our back line. So I need her to have a big year as that leader back in that defensive area and keep everything organized and working hard. And so those would probably be the biggest names I would give you, if you're going to kind of go down that spine, you want your goalkeeper, your center back, your defensive mids, your forwards. You want those girls to be the ones that are leading. And so that's who I look for.
Nice. And talk to me about the district. It's, realignment's coming up, but you're playing this district. So what do we expect from them?
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. Lovejoy and Walnut Grove are 2 of the best teams in the state. I mean, you've got 2 teams that are top 10 in the state, might even be one or both might be in the top 5 in the state. Yeah. So, getting through them is a chore. I thought we played Walnut Grove really well last year. And then we did not play Lovejoy well. We struggled. We played a little scared against Lovejoy, but we played Walnut Grove really well in both games. And so that's a positive thing. McKinney North is that 3rd team. They're a team that is traditionally good, traditionally a district, winner or runner up. Mm-hmm. And we played them well in game one. Game two, not so well, but it was kind of that period there in the middle of the year where we had a lot of injuries and a lot of illness. And so we were very short on people. It kind of, this year we're a little deeper. So hopefully that helps us if those situations go up. But, those are the three top teams in the district. I expect them to likely be the three top teams in a district again. Mm-hmm. And then, it'll be a fight, hopefully between us, Melissa and Anna for that last spot. And, Denison against us and Denison, it's always a war, no matter who's good or who isn't good or who's this or who's that. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a battle. And so I expect nothing less than a really hard fought games against them. And then Greenville is they're up and down, and they're a team that if you don't play well, they can give you problems. But if you do, you usually can do okay against them. So
nice. And speaking of realignment, have you looked ahead to any of that about who might be leaving?
Oh yes, I've looked. I know who's leaving. I've looked at who could be coming, and it doesn't get any better.
It doesn't get easier, huh?
No, depending on where they stick us. If they leave us where we're at, Walnut Grove will definitely leave, and Salina will probably definitely step in. And, Salina's won it's 4 or 5 straight 4A state championships, and their only losses in those 4 or 5 years have been to good 5As and good 6As. So they're very good. They'll come into 5A and do well. And then, it'll be a war. So it just depends on which direction they send us. It could get better if they send us certain places. It could be about the same.
About the same, yeah.
Be about the same and pretty tough, depending on where they stick us. So, yes, it has been looked at and talked about.
I'm sure. Talk to me about the fan base for girls soccer there. Is it a strong fan base?
It's a strong fan base in the, we consistently, we have the parents come out. We have, family members come out. It's kind of a family-oriented fan base. The time of the year doesn't really help with getting lots of fans out there because, the temperature can be rather interesting for some games and the weather can be. That makes it tough to get lots of fans out there. But we've had some games, the Denison games are always guaranteed to have more fans. And, it's like I said, it's a consistent, strong family type fan base where we have the families there, which is great to see. And, it's again, weather doesn't help us. make it a big fan base.
So let's say somebody is considering, hey, I might try watching some soccer this season. What's your pitch to them? What will they find there?
Like I said, you come and watch us. We'll work hard. We're going to leave it all on the field. We'll be hopefully entertaining to watch. You'll probably see some goals, and so fight through the weather, dress warm, and come enjoy the hard work and the girls giving their effort. So that would be my pitch.
I love it. And hopefully we'll be talking before the season's over. But looking back, what would be a successful season for Sherman girls soccer?
Oh, playoffs would be. That's the goal.
That's the goal.
That's a goal that the team has set. That's the goal I've set. I set that goal every year. Yeah. This is year 29 or 30 for me coaching. And so I set a goal of being in the playoffs and doing our best. And so that would be a successful season. If that's not reached, just improvement, getting better. I think we ended 6th last year, being 5th, that's an improvement. That's a better year. And so, always trying to improve and get better. And sometimes it's big steps and sometimes it's baby steps. So
Right on. Well, Coach Dowell, gosh, best of luck this season. And thank you so much for sitting down and sharing a little bit about girls soccer.
Not a problem. Anytime.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for listening to the Bearcat Beat.
Each week throughout the school year, you will hear all sorts of great information about all the athletic programs at Sherman ISD. Please do us a favor, like, share, comment, do whatever you can to help us reach more Bearcat fans.
Hey Coach, Lone Star Gridiron has been the leader in Coach's Show podcasts for 20 years, and now you can get your own Coach's Show podcast each week during the season as a fundraiser for your booster club. Yes, booster clubs all over are using these podcasts to help their sports programs. You get to share the stories of your program and your kids to a huge audience and make money. We started with just football, but this year have expanded to make them available for all sports. Call 713-269-4620 to find out the details and get your Coach's Show started.